The chains broke. The doors opened. But the miracle wasn't the escape. It was who they stayed for. In Acts 16, Paul and Silas were thrown into prison because they cast a demon out of a slave girl in Philippi, who had been making money for her owners by fortune-telling. When her ability to predict the future was gone, her owners became furious over the loss of income. They dragged Paul and Silas before the city officials, falsely accusing them of causing an uproar and promoting unlawful customs. Without a fair trial, they were stripped, beaten with rods, and thrown into the inner cell of the prison, with their feet fastened in stocks. Acts 16:16-24. They were beaten and thrown into prison for doing what was right. They were in pain, in darkness, and completely alone. But instead of giving up, they began to worship right there in the prison cell at midnight. As they sang, something powerful happened. A violent earthquake shook the ground. The prison doors flung open. Every chain fell off. Freedom was right there for the taking. But instead of escaping, Paul and Silas did something unexpected. They stayed. The jailer, thinking everyone had escaped, was ready to take his own life. But Paul cried out, "Don't harm yourself, we are all here." Why didn't they run? Because they understood something deeper. Sometimes your freedom isn't just about you. God used their pain, their worship, and their obedience, not just to break chains, but to reach a soul. That night, the jailer and his entire family came to know Jesus, because Paul and Silas stayed when they could have left. Maybe you've been praying for a breakthrough, healing, a job, restoration. And when it comes, you'll be tempted to move on quickly. But pause and ask, "God, who else is this for?" Sometimes the real miracle isn't the open door, but what you choose to do with it. Your breakthrough could be the very thing God uses to lead someone else to Him. So keep worshiping in the dark. Stay faithful when it's hard. And when the chains fall off, listen for God's voice. Because your story has power, and your obedience might be the key to someone else's salvation. If this spoke to you, share it. Let someone else know that God still uses pain for purpose, and worship is never wasted.